Hey guys, and welcome to a quick tutorial of how to use the Google Sheets version of my unit planning kit. This was much requested and I'm really excited to get it out there because I've been playing around with it in my own classroom and I really love the functionality of the Google Sheet version. Although I will admit I love the PDF version as well, just for like an added little cuteness when I print out everything at the end of the year. So you will open your page to find this really blank sheet. There's not much here. You've probably clicked on the video. And then if you click over to the Unit Plans tab, this is where the fun begins. So you can come in here and change anything that you need. Even if you don't like the coloring or maybe you don't like the font so much, you can change any of that as you need. You can input the unit, start date, and how many periods you think that this unit will go. One thing that I have noticed as I play around with it is it's so easy to kind of just keep going on this that I will plan a quarter at a time. And so in doing that, you don't necessarily need this number of periods. However, it is really fun to just kind of go through and see what all you can do with it. And you'll notice all of these columns here. So we have the date. You can either insert day 1, day 2, day 3, or you can insert the actual date. Lesson topic, and a fun little tip to get all these different lines within one cell is if you use Alt-Enter, you can insert multiple lines and it'll auto reformat to however large of text you have. Then the supplies, I like to put in either the teacher's supplies that I need to prepare and have ready for that day, or also the supplies the student needs to bring. Any assignment details that you want to include. Categories, so this is really great for like weighted classes. Where you have scores that are different weights, or if you just want to keep track of how often you are giving at-home homework or in classwork. The way that you can edit those categories from that drop-down is back here on this first page when you see this category section. Anything under here can be changed and it'll go ahead and change it in this sheet. Then you can click a due date. Now let's say you assign this on November 5th and you know it's going to take them a few days. So I can go through and say, okay, well, November 5th is a Thursday. I want to give them at least a couple solid days to work on it. And then you can go ahead and click on the 10th for that due date. Put in the number of points that it's worth. Any notes that you as the teacher have for reflection or for pre-planning for that lesson. And then also standards. So the standards, I'm hoping to include a drop-down menu in the future. Keep an eye out for updates. Now, when you fill in any of these sheets, it'll auto-populate lots of other sheets. However, this unit checklist, there is no easy way to auto-populate it. In the PDF version, this is something I like to create for myself so that I know what I need to create and in what order, or what I need to have copies ready for and in what order. Now here, you'll just have to type in the different things that you maybe need overall. And this is really just a great page to have so that you know what needs to be prepared and when you need to have it ready by. Then the assignment checklist. So this is going to pull from that first sheet that you filled in with the date, assignment, category it falls under, the due date, and any points that might be worth. And then I left a box over here for score, so you can actually give this to your students so that they can keep track of different grades that they have gotten and make sure that they are keeping themselves accountable on all of the assignments. Then the supplies list. This is why I like to use it for myself personally. Any supplies needed, I have along with the lesson, and then I can go ahead and print this out. And I can look maybe a week at a time, and if I have some free time on a Thursday or Friday, I can make sure I have all the supplies ready to go for the next week. Then the reflection notes tab is really great for admin because what you can do is say that you taught the lesson on this date, here's what the lesson was over, and then here are the different notes that you left yourself to look back on for next year on what went well, what might need to be changed, or different things of that nature. So a couple quick tips that I want to share with you. If you wanted to print this out for admin, but you only needed, let's say 5 or 6 days, you can actually just highlight the cells that you need. And when you go to print, you want to go over here and do print selected cells. So that's only going to print the cells that you actually need to use because the formatting does go down for 200 days, which should be plenty for everybody. And you will be all set there, but you don't want to print all those pages every time you need to print something out. Then on the unit plans page specifically, I want to make sure that I share this with you because this was a lesson that I learned while testing this out. Let's say that I had all this information on day 1 and I wanted to move it down to day 3. Do not copy or do not cut and paste. You want to copy and paste. If you cut and paste, you actually will remove the various pieces of all of the attached sheets equations that it pulls from. So if I were to cut and paste, this assignment checklist would be completely thrown off from there on down. But if you copy and paste, then it's going to keep everything the same. You can go back up here. You can delete this whole row as long as you just don't cut it out. Then the other great thing is not only being able to share these Google Sheets with others, but being able to go and make a copy so you can get certain things set up. So for instance, in mine on the dates, I have which days we are remote or we are planning to be remote because currently we are remote 1 day a week. And so I'm able to look quickly down that list and I formatted it once and then I was able to go to File and make a copy and create a new version for each of the classes that I teach without having to go through and edit it all every single time. So this is a really great start, but if you notice anything that you think could be improved or anything that needs to be fixed, I would highly encourage you to send me an email so I can do that for you. And my email can be found right over here. It's hello@engineerdoeseducation.com. I would love to hear some feedback. Thanks, guys.